The court finally decided on the Nsambya Furniture and Mirembe Beddings divorce, and yeah, it's now official. They are no longer together. And the first thing they do is go back to leaking private information about them. There is a new audio that is making rounds where Nsambya Furniture and Mirembe Beddings are heard fighting over her leaving home with her friend Happy Home and some other guy that is taking her in a car. They are really arguing, and it's a sad story. Before we listen to the audio, I want to first tell you this quote and I will explain it later. Responsibility without authority is slavery. If you become responsible for someone but you have no authority over them, you are typically their slave. Let's listen to the audio, then we come back.
Mulimu nono weda. Mulimu nono mami api omu eyambloki ngabuli wa bestie. Bestie, how are you? Ali bulungi. Odawa ni mchala wangu. Mami we yagenze mchala Masaka. Gwokola chene chiro. Simon yagenze mchala Masaka. Okola chene chiro gwe nono. Okonona mchala wange chiro sawa zino. Mutwala wa. Buchanga muva Nairobi abeera naawe. Lwaki abeeriyo? Buchanga ove Nairobi wagenda kwerekerako Simon ne mukyala we. N'okomawo n'otandika obeera ne mami api home. Wakati okyadda. Ozze okyankalanyiza buli kimu yagala kwasabisa bifaananyi byange. Ozze okyankalanyiza buli kimu yagala kasuka bifaananyi byange. Kale mami api home omukazi w'omufumbo. Nali sikikusuubiramu.
Without my consent.
You've heard. In the video, Nsambya is wondering why Happy Home, who is Mirembe Beddings' close friend, and she's been known to be a very big influence on her, as per what people close to them have said, comes with this guy, at least from what the audio is saying, comes with another guy whom Nsambya doesn't know, to pick Mirembe Beddings from her home so that they can go out with her. Nsambya is heard pleading, wondering why she's going, where she's going at that time, because the audio seems to have been recorded in the night. He's wondering why they're taking his wife at night to go out with her without even having to seek permission from him. You see how crazy that is? Your wife just, because they were legally married, your wife just steps out of her home in the night with friends that you know are bad character and with friends you know you don't like, and they're going out in the night with a strange guy. Maybe it was an Uber guy, but the guy also seems to have a say in whatever was going on. So somebody is there pleading, which takes us back to the quote, the quote I shared. If you decide to become responsible for someone, you have to have authority over them. It's like having kids. That's why they say when we turn 18, our parents no longer have to take care of us, because we are grown people and they can no longer decide for us what to do. We can only be responsible for something you have authority over. Because now imagine Nsambya is Mirembe Beddings' husband. If she gets a problem, maybe in the night, maybe she has gone to the bar, there is a fight and someone hits her in the head, or they get an accident, as the first respondent has to be him, because he's the husband. I'm sure even when they ask Mirembe Beddings to call someone when she's in a problem, at the time she would have to call Nsambya Furniture because he's the husband. But now, the way he was speaking in that audio, he had no authority over her. So he was basically a slave. He's there playing by the rules of the wife, which is quite absurd. Yet he's supposed to be responsible, take care of her, and do the husbandry responsibilities. It's quite embarrassing. So, and Mirembe, although In public, she looks like this puppy like, playful, sweet woman. There's a tough side of her because she's had in the video quarreling, claiming she can, destroy everything around that they have because the guy doesn't want her to go out. And she's speaking with a voice of seriousness. So you can imagine in such a relationship. And again, why were they? I don't know what's going on with relationships of people recording each other all the time. Why are you recording someone? I mean, you're supposed to, because they always told us that the foundation of a relationship is trust. So now people, almost after every breakup, we see audios everywhere. People I have receipts of each other. Now, by the way, if you're in a relationship where you feel like you need to record your partner, you pay school fees, keep receipts, do this, keep receipts, then that's not a relationship that you're supposed to be in. That's the moment you start considering keeping records of what you've been doing in a relationship to use later in future. That's the time that relationship should end. Because now you're living on your toes, you're collecting evidence, that's not a good way to live. Why not just end the relationship and move on to do other things? I mean, if you can't get someone that you can trust, then just play the game. There's a lot of women out here who don't want to get married. They are public about it. Have fun with those. There's places where you can even buy such things. The places we know, though it's not a thing that Uganda has publicly permitted, but we know there are those places where you can go and have fun with a consenting adult, make things transactional. So why stress yourself with a relationship and go through all that headache of keeping records, sleeping with one eye closed? It's really weird. But yeah, the fact that they are stop trusting each other, the fact that they are not respecting each other, and anyone could do whatever he or she wants, shows you that the relationship had really ended a while back, and they're just keeping it together for the sake of public, for the case of the public, because they are business partners. And I think they also were struggling with what will happen if we separate our businesses. Will one of us have to close shop? Is it going to affect us generally? Things like that. And yeah, we need to, from this Mirembe bedding thing, we need to learn that your friends will make or break your marriage or relationship. If your wife or husband has very bad influence, they are going to destroy how your relationship plays out. Because from what has been said about Mirembe Beddings and Happy Homes and their friends, they used to influence her a lot, and we've seen what eventually has happened. Because imagine that's why they always advise that if a woman is married, she should avoid being around single women, because they influence her to behave like she's also single, yet she's supposed to respect herself as a married person with kids. But now you have these single friends. You all have money to do fun stuff. They're always going to, because for them they are free. They're always going to invite you on their things that, and we know some people left their own devices, they will destroy themselves. And this is what has happened to Mirembe Beddings and Nsambya Furniture. Maybe she will get another man, and even Nsambya Furniture will get another man, and they've both picked some lessons from this. Yeah, but relationships are tough these days. If you decide to enter them, and know your objectives, and if the objectives are not met, run away very fast, because the more you delay in, the worse things are going to become. And don't let those traditions of our parents made it even things were tough. Most of them didn't have options. Yeah, they lived in a world where options were limited. I mean, some of them lived in a time where a woman couldn't get a decent job, so she had to depend on her man all throughout. But these days, women can get jobs, they can meet other men at work and whatever. So it's a different ball game. Anyway, that is it we can share for today. Like, comment, subscribe, and share any other information that you could in the comment section.